We know that great society are built by men and women who planted trees under whose shade they may never sit. That is the kind of vision and selflessness that must guide us. I have decided to set up 3 task forces as follows. Number 1, task force on economic recovery. Number 2, task force on health. Number 3, task force on housing. With this, I'm mandating the Secretariat of this forum, como Director General of National Planning Commission, to work out the modalities, because I can see that those who participated in the working groups and the different committees are going to be the nucleus of this task force. But of course, the public sector will also be represented. The Secretariat has to report to me by the end of this week, starting on Monday, to enable me to constitute those task forces, and for them to start working immediately and report to myself by the end of January 2026. I know the proposal here was talking about 2 months. I'm giving November and December. By then, by January, I must get the report that will help me to decide on the way forward. Fellow Namibians, as we conclude this forum once again, I'm encouraged by the unity of purpose that filled every session we held. Everyone spoke with one goal in mind: to make Namibia a conducive environment for investment in order to take our people out of poverty.
In a bold and unprecedented move, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, the first woman to ever lead Namibia, has fired the deputy prime minister and assumed control over one of the most powerful portfolios in the country: mines, industry, and energy. But this isn't just about politics. It's about power, purpose, and a new kind of leadership for Africa. President Nandi-Ndaitwah's decision to dismiss the deputy PM didn't just shake the cabinet, it sent a message to the entire nation and beyond. Africa needs bold, decisive leaders. By stepping into the role of Minister of Mines, Industry, and Energy, she's taking direct control of sectors that are critical to Namibia's future and Africa's economic independence. These are not symbolic positions. These ministries hold the keys to natural resources, foreign investment, infrastructure, and energy security. And in claiming them, she's sending a signal. If we want real change, we must lead it ourselves. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah isn't just making history, she's rewriting it. As the first female president of Namibia, her leadership breaks long-standing barriers. But she's not here to symbolize progress. She's here to deliver it. Her leadership represents something deeper: the rise of women in African politics, not as placeholders, but as power players, as decision-makers, as visionaries who aren't afraid to take control of the narrative. And for young girls watching across Africa, this is a powerful moment of possibility. This is about Namibia, yes, but it's also about Pan-African awakening. Africa has been held back by indecision, weak leadership, and division. But leaders like President Nandi-Ndaitwah show us another way, one rooted in bold action, accountability, and self-determination. What would it look like if more African leaders took such direct responsibility? What if we saw governance not as ceremony, but as a call to courage? This is the mindset shift Africa needs. One leader, one country, one moment at a time. Namibia has spoken. A woman leads. A nation watches. And all of Africa takes note. This is how we make Africa great.
and a clear and comprehensive report will be produced immediately for implementation. Among the issues raised, just for a reflection, include over-regulations. We need to align regulations to enhance efficiency and productivities. The current processing of visa, work and import permits are considered not friendly to investment. It has also come out clear that we must make it easy to do business in Namibia by reviewing and amending policies that hold us back, simplifying process, cutting unnecessary delays, and align our institutions. Equally, it comes to light that quality service delivery, honesty and integrity are the key to success. We need a predictable and a fair system that builds confidence. And of course, as we know, confidence attracts investment, creates jobs, and drives inclusive growth. We agree Namibia needs to be competitive if we are to unlock our economy. Hence, the issue of incentives has been highlighted, as well as the importance of collaboration and to adopt a culture of agency. Skill and capacity building, as well as financing, are also important elements to enable us to take our nation to prosperity. Namibia is part and parcel of the global village, and therefore connectivity and digitalization cannot be overemphasized. We agree that there is a need to align our education system with the needs of the labor market and equip our young people with practical and digital skills. In this way, we will build confidence, a confident generation ready to compete in the labor market. The high-level panels capture the essence of this forum, that the government cannot do everything alone. Real transformation happens when we create more space for private sector participation, while the government focuses on enabling, regulating, and ensuring fairness. This is how we move from potential to progress and from planning to prosperity. We also affected on the immense potential of our mining industry. Namibia is richly endowed with strategic minerals that the world needs. If well managed and sustained, mining can be a true game changer that lifts our economy to the new heights and improve the livelihood across the country. But to fully benefit, we must develop a specialized skills that this sector requires. Namibia must be equipped to take up the high-value jobs of the future rather than depending on outside experts. The United Nations participation added an important global dimension. Through the Global Accelerator, on jobs and social protection. Namibia is working hand in hand with international partners who share our vision of inclusive prosperity. There are 4 focus areas: youth employment, entrepreneurship, expansion of social protection, and transformation from informal to formal economy aligns seamlessly with our national priorities. The AU Agenda 2063, the Sustainable Development Goals, and the Pact for Future, adopted at the UN last year under co-facilitation of Namibia and Germany, is also an important document to refer to. Together, we must ensure that the public-private partnership, which we have recommitted ourselves over the past 2 days, delivers tangible results for our people. Our sectoral working group also brought forward practical and powerful ideas. The agriculture, water and fishery cluster reminded us that food security is both a matter of dignity and development. We must modernize agriculture, expand agro-processing, and promote Namibia's product to strengthen local industry. The creative industry, sports and tourism group reminded us that culture is also an economy. Our music, film, craft, and tourism hold immense potential to create jobs, build national pride, and share the Namibian story with the world. The public and private sector must collaborate closely to nurture and invest in creative power. The session on health, housing, land, and sanitation reminded us that inclusive development begins with dignity. Access to quality health care, affordable housing, service delivery, and proper sanitation are not privilege, they are rights. We must act with urgency and unity to make those rights living reality for every Namibian. The question now, where do we go from here? To reduce the time of registering business in Namibia, I want to inform you that a decision is already taken that by the end of November, the one-stop shop must be up and running. It is going to be hosted at the old SME building bank. That's where the place is already cleaned, the furniture is available, and all ministers who are supposed to be there, they are already directed to make sure that senior officials are placed in that building without delay. And this has been the first task I had given to the Prime Minister, and he said he has delivered. So that is now off the table. I have also to inform you that all relevant ministries, they are directed to play their part. But for now, I want to inform you that, for example, the Ministry of Agriculture, with particular to the agricultural sector, They are directed to make sure that for them to ensure that the planned health capacity is enhanced before the end of this financial year, which is ending in April. They must be deploying specialized skills to address the emerging needs and the challenge of this sector. The Ministry of Agriculture is also to speed up the establishment of the structure to commence the implementation of the transformation of the agro-food sector implementation plan, which identify priority investment areas and classified stakeholder roles by December 2025. As for the other issues, I would like to have a report by the end of next week. Issues that were addressed here. The Ministry of Home Affairs must ensure that the immigration bill is enacted before the end of financial year. Ministry of Home Affairs must improve the infrastructures at the Hosea Kutako International Airport by adding more counters if they are needed in the arrival halls. We must also review, as a matter of urgency, the visa regime and simplify visa application forms to make it clear for investors and visitors to access the special visa program. As a Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, now I'm the President. I have been saying, and now I'm saying it, serious investors who are proving that they really have the money, let us give them 5 years investors visa. I don't want to open the country to unwanted elements, but I'm talking about real investors. And I'm sure the current minister will behave for the same, because if it's not that, I heard it, I know it will happen. And then the Minister of Home Affairs should digitalize the application for employment and student permit for easy processing and facilitation as of April 2023. By 2026. Coming now to the finance. Definitely, the Namibian government is poised to implement a series of tax reform designed to boost both competitiveness and fairness within the economy. Those initiatives align with global trends that advocate for increased tax to GDP ratio to facilitate economic growth and promote reducing inequality through progressive tax framework. Those of you who have been following me from 2022, I was saying, when you vote me, I don't want to lead. I want to lead a developmental state and not just a revenue-driven state. I believe if we work together under a developmental state, whereby as I'm taking my tax, I also want to leave something for you, but not for you to squander, to invest back so that you can increase my revenue collection. That is what I'm saying when I talk about a developmental state. In the short term, the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2025 includes 10 proposals previously announced in the budget and have been presented for legislative consideration and is anticipated to be passed into the law by the end of this financial year. I affirm among the key proposal changes are enhancement to corporate tax across all sectors, including manufacturing. The corporate tax rate has been reduced from 32% over MTEF and further down to 28% to close the gap within the rest of SADC. Another thing that is happening, there is new differentiated reduced rate of 20% for small and medium enterprise to support local entrepreneurs during their growth phase, and a 20% tax rate for special economic zone enterprises in line with the global expectation for corporates to pay a minimum fair share of taxes where they have economic activities. Considering the deliberations of the past 2 days, the Minister of Finance is directed to investigate the possibility of any additional categories under the special economic zone taxation structure to this effect to be in line with other jurisdictions. We propose a 15% effective tax rate for qualified special economic zone enterprises who make a minimum investment to set by the Minister of Finance and the Minister of International Relations and Trade. Further announcement regarding the qualification thread will be made in the main budget in March. Also, I said more issues raised here are going to be investigated, and I will have to get a report in order for the industry to be informed accordingly. Fellow Namibians, I listened very carefully to the debates. And one thing, I welcomed the proposal to set up task forces. I welcome that. Accordingly, I have decided to set up 3 task forces as follows. Number 1, task force on economic recovery. Number 2, task force on health. Number 3, task force on housing. With this, I'm mandating the Secretariat of this forum, como Director General of National Planning Commission, to work out the modalities, because I can see that those who participated in the working groups and the different committees are going to be the nucleus of this task force. But of course, the public sector will also be represented. The Secretariat has to report to me by the end of this week, starting on Monday, to enable me to constitute those task forces and for them to start working immediately and report to myself by the end of January 2026. I know the proposal here was talking about 2 months. I'm giving November and December. Then by January, I must get the report that will help me to decide on the way forward. Fellow Namibians, as we conclude this forum once again, I'm encouraged by the unity of purpose that filled every session we held. Everyone spoke with one goal in mind: to make Namibia a conducive environment for investment in order to take our people out of poverty. We know that great societies are built by men and women who planted trees under whose shade they may never sit. That is the kind of vision and selflessness that must guide us. I thank once again everybody for participation, for your honest discussion, for the energy that defined every session we have had. Let us continue with one heart and one mind, because Namibia's true success will never be measured by what divides us, but what unites us. I will be able to have this gathering again before the end of this year. So therefore, I hope and I believe it's not too early. We have just November in between. To really wish you a Merry Christmas. Very soon we are going to see the Independence Avenue brighter than any before. So why can't we leave this room more brighter also? Because it is really brightened up. And a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let us really come back full of energy as we are ending with energy. This was really a good dialogue, and I appreciate all of you. Ministers, thank you for coming today. Yesterday there was miscommunication. I was really angry. Apparently there was parliament. I'm no more a parliamentarian. So those who came and then they left, there was parliament. They say they went to answer questions, but today you have seen how I was yesterday. The whole day, that's how I was. So it's good that you have came. Governors, thank you. And everybody, thank you. You see, I don't want you to go. The meeting is closed.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.